Hey friends, I got a couple things I want to tell you about. First of all is one of my new favorite plates, if you will. Now, it's not a pretty plate, as you see. I got my fine china here, my paperware, but it is one of the most delicious things I put together. So I have recently decided that because of reminding myself of the education I had before and just looking at my life and the way my body is working, that living as a vegetarian was going to be what is absolute best for me. And it's really beautiful because the Lord gave me a lot of clarity on it. And it just was something that thrilled my soul to go back to eating out of His pharmacy and living in the healing that He provides in that way. I don't worship the food, but I'm gonna tell you what, I worship the God who made the food, and I'm super excited to tell you about this one thing. So what I'm doing is just a regular sweet potato. I baked them early this morning as I was getting ready for church, and then just turned the oven off. Make sure you turn the oven off. I've done that before, and that's a problem. I baked the sweet potato, and then when I got home, I just stuck that in the microwave as I was sauteing some mushrooms. I got a big old bunch, and in fact, I've got more over there as I get ready for the next few days. So I gotta have several to dip from. Some of you are like, oh, I'm out. I don't like mushrooms. That's fine. You don't have to love mushrooms. You can do portions of what I'm about to tell you and check out on it. However, lots of people say when you're thinking of vegetarian living, like, where do you get your protein? Well, did you know in 3 cups of mushrooms, you have 7 grams of protein? And you think, for 3 cups of mushrooms is a lot. It's really not that much when you look at it on your plate, especially when this becomes sort of like your meat. It has that texture that's more meaty, I guess you would say. And so anyways, it's really wonderful and delicious, and you can put garlic and salt and do all those good things with it. So on my sweet potato, I start with the sweet potato. I've sauteed the mushrooms, and then here's a little addition is some feta cheese. Now I'm one who loves butter, and I have to be real careful. I use plant-based butter now, but it's super high in calories, and then you really don't have any protein or anything like that. Now, I have gone primarily dairy-free, but I hang on to some things like feta and maybe mozzarella or Parmesan here and there, but I don't use a ton of these things, just enough. But if you use 1/4 cup of feta and you just sprinkle that on your sweet potato, and I'm measuring with my eyes right now. I should do better about that. And then mix it in so that the feta gets nice and melty. And then just top it with your mushrooms and however many you've so chosen to use. And then here's right here, put a little bit of salt on top. Now normally, and I thought about this because I've been wanting to make this video for some time to talk about another thing that the Lord is doing in my life, but this made me think about a point I want to make. So as I was cooking the mushrooms, I thought, I'm going to leave off the salt because I have a tendency to add salt on the back end, and then you got too much salt, and in our age group, it's not really working that great for you with swollen hands and swollen feet and all that kind of stuff. So I make sure and just add salt on the end. This also gives the other people who are eating these things the choice of how much salt they want to use. And I started thinking about how there are things in life and by the way, that's it. That's the goodness right there. I'm going to tell you what, I wish I could take a bite right now, but you don't want me talking with my mouth full. This is so delicious. But I started thinking about other people and how there are some things in life that we need to decide for ourselves how to do them. How much salt you have, what job you do, how much exercise you do. There's so many different things that are really quite subjective. It doesn't matter what your choice is, and it shouldn't matter to you or me what the other's choice is about the things. We just make these choices, right? And I started thinking this about social media. I was with my Benjamin a few weeks ago, and he made a statement to me. He got off social media a couple years ago, and he said, "You know what, Mom? It's like I got my life back." And he didn't mean to make this profound impact on me, but he did. And I took that home with me, and I felt the Lord for a while saying to me, back up. And it's just like, okay, But it's just social media. It's no big deal. I'll use it in moderation and it's fine. But then after my son had said that, and then I was sitting with some other friends and we were talking about really the physical, mental effects and emotional effects of what's happening with our phones and with social media and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you, just like I was talking about the joy that floods my soul about being a vegetarian again, it was like that. It was like, I'm getting off social media. I'm doing it. There's the ping in the back of my head. It says, you know what? You blog. You've got to put it out there. Or you do women's ministry things. And you know what? I may have to get on every once in a while to put up women's ministry things for my church. That's fine. No big deal. I may have to get on and find a picture that I put up or a blog that I did some time ago. I may need to use it as a resource, but I am not going to use it as an everyday anymore. And as for blogging, I said, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? And you know what I feel like he said to me, plain and simple, is you don't have to put it out there. Keep writing as you want to write, and I will use it where I want to use it. And I thought, you know what? That's the risk I want to take, because I have been giving away so much of my life to social media, and I want to make sure that I reposition and give all of that to him. Now, some of you could be like, she's doing the grand exit and she'll be back soon, and say, oh, I've decided to come back. You know what? I'm not going to make any promises about anything, but I know what in this season of my life, I'm going to do what the Lord is showing me I need to do. And I'm going to give you a little backup about what I think. So in the book, Experiencing God, and there's many of you who have done that before and know that it's an amazing study, but I'm back in it in this season, and a couple things that I've read. It says, when we see God at work, we immediately become self-centered. Right? We're like, oh, what is this going to require of me? What if I don't want to do this? So on and so forth. Rather than God-centered. When we see God at work, we immediately become self-centered rather than God-centered. We must reorient our lives to Him. We should learn to see things from His perspective. We need to allow Him to develop His character in us. We must let Him reveal His thoughts to us. Only then can we gain proper perspective on life. When you see God at work around you, your heart will leap inside of you, and you will say, thank you, Father, for letting me be involved where you are. So I thought, man, that's it. This is it. I need to make sure and reorient my life and reclaim what the Lord has given me, and that's freedom. It says, those who are free indeed because of Jesus. And so if I'm over here giving all of my allegiance and all of my energy and so on to making sure that I create a social media presence, then that is not what the Lord has asked me to do. Again, this is my choice. This is about my life. This is not me trying to lay conviction on you. It's me celebrating. It's my heart, me celebrating, my heart leaping with joy, saying, Father, thank you. Thank you for giving me clarity, and thank you for allowing me to join you in where you are. So here's this in Philippians 2. I have fallen in love lately with the Amplified Version. And let me read this to you, what Philippians 2, 12 and 13 in the Amplified Version says. So then, my dear friends, just as you have always obeyed my instructions with enthusiasm, continue to work out your salvation. That is, cultivate it. Bring it to full effect. Actively pursue spiritual maturity with awe-inspired fear and trembling, using serious caution and critical self-evaluation to avoid anything that might offend God or discredit the name of Christ. For it is not your strength, but it is God who is effectively at work in you, both to will and to work. That is, strengthening, energizing, and creating in you the longing and the ability to fulfill your purpose for His good pleasure. That was so clear to me. And again, my heart leaps inside of me. Joy fills my soul to think, okay, I'm going to take my life back. I'm going to do what I've needed to do for a long time. I'm going to enjoy my favorite vegetarian foods. I'm going to spend time reading the Word and reading other books. I'm going to spend time blogging and putting up food information and so on and so forth. I'm going to enjoy it. And if you want to see it, I encourage you, follow me on aheartrefined.com. You'll get an email every time that I put something up. If you don't want to be a part of it, that's absolutely fine. If you want to just check in every once in a while instead of getting an email, That's fine too. Whatever you so choose to do, and the Lord will lead my heart and your heart according to his plan and his purpose, and for always his good pleasure. That's it, period. I really do hope you join me, because I really would like to celebrate all that God is doing together. But again, it's your choice. God bless you, sweet friends. Thank you for the time that I've had with you on Facebook. God is good, and let's live pursuing him so that our hearts might be refined and our lives might be risen unto him. God bless you.